What is employism? Employism is modern-day indentured servitude. It's a psychological conditioning, as a result of over a decade-long indoctrination process in mass education centers, in order to create rule-following, obedient, genderless, sexless workers. Employism is different from slavery, but it's as close to it as it's legally possible. In 100 years, future generations will probably look at present-age employism in the same way as we look at slavery now. Let's explore the two main types of employees. Number 1, H-1B worker visa employees. H-1B visa employees are the closest you can get to legalized slavery nowadays. These workers are imported by a corporation from a foreign country, and they are entirely locked into their new corporate masters. If they piss off their masters, or they are not performing well enough, missing a beat, pissing off a coworker, they can lose not just their job, but in the same time they will have 2 weeks to pack up their entire lives and go back to their home countries. Not everyone can take this lightly. These people are usually becoming supercucks. They will take whatever salary is offered to them, with no negotiation power, which is usually the lowest which is legally possible in the given market. This will indirectly hurt domestic workers too, as now they have to compete with more workers who are doing the same for less pay. But the real reason why the H-1B program is so popular among corporations is not cheap labor, but total control. An H-1B employee will never say no to any project, no matter how pointless or toxic it is, will work 12 to 14 hours a day, including weekends, without overtime pay, and in the same time they will also proactively praise their corporate masters to signal their loyalty and to ensure they are not getting deported from the country. These low-level H-1B wagecucks then setting the bar very low for entire teams, enabling the most mediocre, most sadistic middle managers to berserk freely. Number 2, domestic debt slaves. Domestic workers, citizens, have the privilege to freely choose employers. This is a liability to the corporation. To overcome this, the government-funded, taxpayers-backed mass education and indoctrination institutions are now ensure that fresh graduates will start their career with tremendous unforgivable debt. This debt will force them to constantly look out for a master to serve and to never miss a beat in order to justify their existence. For most midwits with a degree, it could be a decade-long process to pay off their student loans. Meanwhile, they can't save up or invest much. The best they can do is to build their credit. Since they can't save up, they are usually buying everything on credit, and once their credit score is established they will be bombarded by offers to buy more loans. The next logical step is a car loan, which is usually paid off in a 5 years interval, while the value of the vehicle, as a fast depreciating asset, is going toward zero. Once these office midwits hit a certain age, they are usually buying a 30-year-long debt from a bank, also called as a mortgage, which will technically lock them into a very expensive rental payment for the rest of their lives. If they live long enough, they might be able to pay off the last mortgage payment before they pass away. Either way, eventually the bank will take back the property and assigns it to the next sucker. These domestic workers, often heavily indoctrinated in local mass education institutions, who are collaborated with the government in their financial enslavement, are also cutthroat worker consumers, since their life and existence depends on keeping their masters happy. Since they live their entire life in negative net worth, without building real wealth, their only way to measure success is to hoard status symbols, expensive gadgets, watches, furniture, designers' clothes, and ridiculous mortgages on flipped houses. The common theme among the various wagecucks is that they have little or no control over their own lives. Freedom, as a term, is either entirely unknown, unattainable, or at best, very low priority for them. Most of them can't even decide when to wake up, how to dress, where to perform their daily tasks, what these tasks are, and how to perform their jobs. Their calendar is scheduled by mediocre middle managers and midwits. They are not required to think outside of the accepted narrative. They are allowed to run only one app at a time in their brain, the corporate-approved application. Anything outside of it is going against their core indoctrination programs and immediately punished by the corporation. These midwits are often working in so-called open-plan offices, where mediocre middle managers can supervise them in person. 95% of these workers could perform their tasks perfectly from home, but since they are so helpless and they have so little control over their lives, ordering them around and force them to commute daily just so they can be under adult supervision the whole day costs nothing for the corporation, so most of them obviously choosing to order the midwits to their desks when they can be seen. Productivity is often very low in these offices due to the constant distractions, but productivity is not the highest priority. The highest priority is control. Office employees are not paid after their accomplishments, they are being paid for hanging around so any random task can be thrown to them. They are being paid for selling out their time hour by hour, day by day, for a fix, flat free. It's not about the project, it's indentured servitude, after all.